I am. Hi, Miss Tracy. I hope you're having a great week. I know how tiring sometimes travel can be. But thank you for saying hi and stopping by. I'm getting pretty good at doing this by myself. Of course, he'll be filming today. Okay, so we'll wait for Mary to finish up here and wait for some friends to come in. Hi, Joanne. How are you doing? I hope all is well. I feel like Michael Jackson. Do, 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 do. No disrespect. So everybody, come on in and let me know where you're from. This is Backroom Creations. My name is Jeanette, and I'm so happy that you guys are here. Today, we are going to make a wooden Christmas present. Good morning, Cheryl. Um, Basically, they're full of a little present. Hi, Mitzi. How are you doing? And I'm doing a set of three. I actually have a craft show on Sunday, so I've been painting full. I've been a painting full, and so but I'm going to show you. This is the medium size. The big one's 9 inches. I think this is 7, and then we have a little baby. It's not really a baby. Drop that on your toe and it would hurt. Um, but I have some yard dice that kind of look like this too. So hi Barbara, welcome. So I'm gonna I have a side view camera so you guys can see. Thank you, Joan. I much appreciate it. So you can see more of what I'm doing. There we go. If you ever have any questions, please don't feel bashful about asking. Um, hi, so if you're a Facebook user, just like that one right there, I apologize. I do use StreamYard because I go on YouTube as well. Uh, but hello, what your name is, if you want to put your name there. You may not, it's right above Barbara on my screen. So I appreciate you guys coming in, and we're going to show you. I actually haven't made any of these. I just had the idea. Good morning, good morning. Um, and through luck, they'll turn out. So I actually put my glove on the wrong hand. No, I didn't. So I have you guys ever bought any chalk paint from Walmart? And it's so thick. I mean, I put some distilled water in here. Um, oh, that's lots better. And gave it a good shaking. Thank you, June, for sprinkling. So come on in and let me know where you're from. We're going to start painting this 4x4 block. It actually was part of a crate or something large. My husband brought home from work. And I sanded it really well. He cut them up for me yesterday. I sanded it. We are going to make it look a little distressed. So I rounded off the corners just a little bit, not a whole lot. So we're going to paint. Thank you for sprinkle, sprinkle. I actually already prepared another one that's dry. So, but we're going to paint this one. This is a lot better. This was like, it was almost like cottage cheese earlier. I'm like, oh, wow. And I got it. It's not like it's old or anything. So who knows? These will need 2 coats. I'll make it look like a little Christmas present. Good morning, Shar. How are you doing? I've been like running ragged this morning. I slept in. I didn't want to, but I did. I get my best sleep from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. I don't know why, because I'm up half the night. back problems, hip problems, foot problems. Oh, Shar. I woke up on the right side of the green, so it must be a good day. It's be a busy day. So I tell everybody at work, I'm like, hi, how are you? Like, I woke up on the right side of the green. You slipped into, well, it must be, I think it's the weather. Every time this year, if anyone has arthritis, you know what I mean. Um, my grandma would just sit and ache and moan, and I'm like, Grandma, what's wrong? She's like, oh, my body hurts. I never understood it as a kid until recently. I'm like, oh, I know what my grandma went through. She had rheumatoid arthritis in her hands, and she would just sit and rub them. She would have me do her shoulders, and she's like, oh, you can do it harder. Your grandpa's afraid to hurt me. Sleeping in is nice, but sometimes you can sleep too long, and then you're like, ugh, I should. We're just gonna put the code of this. And if you watch me very much, sometimes 45 minutes is like, ah! So I don't think because of the way I set, I'm normally a wreath maker, but I like making all kinds of crafts. I've got wreaths are hanging all over my house right now because Sunday we have a show here in town. I do 2 craft shows a year. Um, the art performing, not performing arts, the art guild, I think is what it's called, here in town, partners with a lot of artisans. Um, 2 of the shops that I'm in, they participate, and it's called Art on the Alley. Arthritis don't like you either. I feel for you. I work with a bunch of young kids, and I do walk pretty fast, but sometimes I have to slow down. They're like, "You coming?" I'm like, "Just go. Leave me alone." So we'll paint our little one. I don't mind the cracks. Um, some downstairs had some knots, some really bad knots, but it came from a crate, so it's not like I bought it. Let me know if you can't see. Sometimes I gravitate towards the wrong end of the table when my camera's going. My husband will say, stand in one spot. And I'm like, I can't. I got to move. Got to move. Got to move. So we'll put that big crack on the bottom. So I just started doing Christmas. Making some things for the shop. And for the art show. There's a lot of people that come out for that. Our area of town, we're kind of like an historic part of Ohio. There's a lot of history here. I'm not from Ohio, as my husband calls me. I'm a transplant. He's from Ohio. I'm originally from Illinois, and you don't put an S on it. Hey, Bonnie, how you doing? We're just painting away. I know it's kind of boring right now, but we'll get to the fun stuff here in just a second. Yeah, Joanne, she's had 2 weekends of craft shows. Even this last weekend was a juried show she got in. So it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't even talk to her, but just maybe, how you doing? So she's whipped. She's really, really tired. She had doctor yesterday. Um, but yeah, she's still around. Just had 2 weekends of shows that she's been trying to get ready for. And if you've ever done a show, you know that can be daunting. That's why I only do the two here in town. I forget something, I'm like 3 blocks from the house. I don't have to have a trailer or rent a U-Haul or anything like that. So hubby and I just haul it in our truck in my car. I've got kids close. They usually come help us set up and tear down. So it makes it nice. So here, I mean, you can paint your. She said she did pretty good. She didn't elaborate. I know the first day was a little slower, but she said that she was happy at the end of it. So I was glad for her because it can be very disheartening to put all. Thank you, Mary. I loved your little cardinal. It can be very disheartening to put, you know, all your sweat, blood, and tears and everything you got into a craft show and it not do well. So, but that's the way things go. So here's what we got. We just painted. So you're quite welcome, Mary. Um, so they'll dry, and then I'll put another coat on them, and then we will look like this. We're going to be dry. This is 2 coats. This I probably take 3, but I want them a little rustic. It is hard. My show last fall didn't do very well. Um, and we had started just putting different signs. My husband has a laser, so he's been making laser signs. Um, and I'm helping out with that just a little bit. We're both making signs. So, you have to adapt. So this is 80 grit sandpaper. Yes, I have a gator, but I lost my refills, so I gotta find them. So I'm just gonna distress it a little bit. I painted these this morning, so it would probably be best if they sat overnight to distress. But through I always have to do things last minute. Drives my husband batty if he's not no better. So we're just gonna distress all the corners. I did some rounding off a little bit with the sander downstairs. I woke up this morning and I was sanding in my pajamas. So you can do as little or as much as you want. You can leave that wood showing, or you can put some brown or black wax on it, or the Tim Hortons distressing palettes. Does make a little bit of a mess, but there's really no right or wrong. Well, I guess there could be a really wrong way if you sanded off all your paint, but to do these for the craft show, I will definitely just use my sander to distress them. It's like, zoop, zoop, and then you're done. So, make sure I got my top and my bottom. But it's if you have anybody that you're friends with or family that works maybe in a warehouse, that gets shipped some things. This came on a crate that for my husband's work, I don't know what was on it. My work, the shipping stuff is made out of crushed wood plywood, so it's not really good to make for crafts. But and he actually we have a Rural King. It's like a Tractor Supply. Hi, Ursula. We're making wooden Christmas presents. So I'm just sanding off the corners, getting them the way I like them. Like I said, when I make my other ones, I'll zip, zip, and it'll be done. And not as much mess. Put that over there. Kind of brush them off. I've seen these for years, and I'm like, I keep saying I'm going to make them. And then my husband said, I have a 4x4 in the shed. I'm like, oh, go cut it up. So yesterday he sent me a picture at work. He had all this wood cut up for me. So I can make some stuff. We try to keep stuff separate in our house, but there's clutter everywhere. Everywhere. And if you try to make wreaths and paint, and it's like, where do I go? I have wreaths everywhere. Wreaths are all downstairs. Oh, there's a couple hanging in here. Okay, so we've just dressed, and we're going to, sorry, I forgot to get my little thingy. Oh, got it. There it is. So you can use oh, that's embossing. Where's my other one? Oh, there it is. Opened it. I haven't used the Tim Hortons products very much. This one I just bought. Hi, Brooklyn. Welcome to my page. If you guys don't follow me, pop me on the nose, and I would love to have you as a new friend. So I know some people use a little, I forgot, my husband found something at Dollar Tree. He goes, oh, you could use this. I forgot it downstairs. He's always out. So I didn't want my wood to look like wood per se. So I'm just giving it a little bit of distressing. If you get other stuff on it, it's okay. It's not going to happen. Hi, Bianca. How are you? This is a little wet. I don't care about it getting like over it. Just gives it a little bit more antique-ish look. If you don't want that look, then be careful how you do it. Hope everybody's having a fabulous day. My days have just been running together lately. I don't even know what day it is. I know today's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? It's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Oh, doing good on time. Because I'm usually like, I can take an hour to do my stuff. If I make a wreath, I need at least an hour. Unless I make a real little one. But if you use the Tim Hortons, where do you guys get your applicators? Do you buy the ones that go with the line, or do you use something else? Just give it a little rub, make sure it's not too wet. Like I said, I don't care about all that. We're going rustic looking. Hi, Sue. How are you doing? It's okay. No one's never late. We all have lives. We all have things to do. I just appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to give some more little wipes. One of the grandkids said, nobody has diapers anymore, Grandma. Why do you have baby wipes? Hi, Giselle. How are you? I'm like, I have to wash my hands off. So now when she comes up here and she crashes, she's like, I need a baby wipe. She's 8. All right. So here's our two little wooden presents. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make them look like presents. I love. Give me hearts if you love buffalo check. Give me hearts. Buffalo check. So we're gonna make these look like a present. Thank you. So we're just gonna cut it, and then I can measure that because these are square. Uh-oh. Somebody's calling me. I'm vibrating. Okay, so 2 of these, and we want the seam to end on top because we're gonna add a bow and some greenery. So I rough cut it then, and you can glue it all the way around. You can not glue it all the way around. Totally up to you. I've got the big guns, and I got the little guns. This one is, if you've ever thought about buying a Ryobi, they're hot. They're really, really hot. I have scars. I have a scar from my heat tool. They're great because, like I said, I'm a wreath maker. Hi, Pat. How are you? Um, I'm a wreath maker, and sometimes I need a lot of glue, like on grapevines and stuff. So I'm just gonna pull this really tight. Second, Facebook, stop freezing me. Or if I have a little detail glue gun I like to use. Where's my little stick? A little silicone stick. I have the little finger dudes. I don't like them. I feel like I can't touch my projects. Okay, so we got one way. You could, do these for whatever theme you have going on. You could do whimsical. Hi, Carol. You're a Ryobi fanatic and a collector. Well, so far, this is the only Ryobi tool I have. I know they make other stuff, and I'm like, when I see they made a heat tool, I'm like, oh, I got to have one of those. Because my cords get in my way. When I got it for Christmas from my grandchildren, aka Papa, he bought me an extra battery, which is great because I have the 18-volt 2 amp, and so it can go dead. Like if I'm on a live for more than an hour and a half. That's if I'm making something really big. Um, it can go dead. I do like it, but for tedious things, I got a Surebonder detailed one. I have a Surebonder glue pot. I like those. So I'm pulling this pretty tight because you don't want a loosey goosey ribbon around your package. How cute is that? And then I have, ta-da! My husband says, "Can you make a smaller bow?" And I'm like, "Dude, I can't make smaller bows." Do they? That's cool. So I didn't put a pipe cleaner on the bottom of this just because I'm just gonna glue it straight. I could probably shorten some of my tails a little bit. That is an awful big bow, isn't it? I can't make small bows. If you've ever watched me, do I make anything small? No, don't. But we're gonna go with it. But I'm gonna glue on. I have some greenery right here. I cut off. It's a Walmart 98-cent pick I bought last year. Just threw them in the bag. So that's the way they come. I can pull it apart. Yes, my husband says I don't need anything else. I haven't bought any craft supplies for like, other than some little paints for 3 months, 4 months. I just don't need it. So I like the little wires. I pull them out. I like to kind of attach them together. It helps hold them in. Pretty stiff wires. My hands aren't liking it, but it'll be okay. I like to attach my stuff that I put in things just because I use bundles is the term that we use when I make a wreath, and I add these little greenery and florals all throughout my wreath. So like it's bundle time. A lot easier to do it that way, I think. Okay, I think that's enough wire. I hope everybody's having a great day. Oh, there's another wire. How about that? Okay, so here's my little greenery. That's upside down. That's a good thing about wire. You can just twist it the right way. I have some little pine cones. I only think I want one pine cone though. Maybe. We'll see. It's kind of long. Can you guys see? I moved my camera up. I need to move it back down. I love adding little berries. If this is, in fact, I might use them anyway. I have a whole little bin of pit berries. I think I like the pit berries better. Let's start gluing this up. It's going to take a minute to set up. I have some baby pine cones around here somewhere. I try to be organized, but sometimes that just doesn't fly. I don't want that pine cone to go all the way in because my bow's going to be there. I just want it to sit, come on, right there. And that's the thing about the Ryobis is that they're so hot. It does take them a minute to cool down. Um, you could probably even take a stapler. I think I want to do it right now because there's a bunch of glue in there. But everywhere I see pit berries, I buy them. I buy them. That's what I just said, Earth. I was just waiting for the glue to dry, so I was just going to staple it. Yeah. I need a new. Oh, I heard the staple. It's too hard a wood. Wow. I hear them. They keep popping out. Because this is 4x4 off of a shipping crate. So we'll get everything in here and we'll give it some. I think I'm just going to, I don't want to cut the pit berries. I'm just going to like wrap them. So if we have time, we'll see about making another little bow. But you know what else would work? Thank you. Little horseshoe nails. since this is such hard wood that the staples won't go in, I'll have to invest in some of those. Growing up on a farm, we use those left and right for chicken wire and all that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna hold this a minute, and then we're gonna loop our pit berries around. Like I said, I've never made one of these, so I was like excited to do it. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. I go live and make things, and sometimes you fail, but that just shows that you're human. Everybody fails at projects, or it doesn't go your way, and sometimes, as um, someone has taught me, you have to adapt and excel. Um, one of the people that I've watched since I started doing lives, that's her mantra or motto is adapt and excel. And sometimes it's just a flop. You take it apart and you start over. But that's the wonderful thing about crafting. You make it your own. And sometimes you don't even have to tell people. We are all human. That is exactly right, Mary. So I think I just want see how many loops of this I want. If you wanted to do it really rustic, you could do it with like burlap and natural colors. I even have little, my husband found them at Hobby Lobby, were little bells instead of the pit berries. But I think I just want like 2 loops of it. I don't want to overpower it. I'll cut it off down in here. But I have pit berries in all colors. I use them in the spring. I use them in the winter. I think a lot of people see them mostly in the primitive, but I'm not a hardcore primitive, but I do like my pit berries and rustic and so we're going to put a little bit. I want this one to wrap somewhere else. It is wrapping where you will see it, and it's a no bueno. It's not happening. I did have my tails a lot longer on my little bow. My husband's like, that's too big. And I said, I'll chop it off. I'm going to put some glue down here. I'm sorry you can't see it, but I'm going to put some more glue down here just for this one to set in there. Oh, ouch. Got me again. And there it is. This one to sit right underneath the bow so you can't see that little end. There we go. So let's hold it for a minute. And really, if you can find, we looked at Menards. Menards is like a Lowe's. It's kind of local for us. I think it's mostly Eastern United States. An 8-foot 4x4 is $15. Now he can get 5 sets. Like I said, I have a bigger one. I didn't get sanding yet, but you got 5 sets. So that's 15 blocks, 5 at 9, 5 at 7, 5 at 5 for $15. But he already had this one, so we started with it. Make sure you can't see that. I don't want to see it. My glue's still a little gooey. If you want to put the other, I think that's enough pit berries, don't you? We'll have to breeze away our little strings, take the heat tool to them, but just enough to run through there and add a little something, something. Or you could put green in there if you wanted. Everything's black and white, which is Joyce, which is great. But the pit berries just give it just a splash of color. or if you wanted to use the black on here and not have brown, but I pulled brown into here because I have my pine cone is brown. If you wanted to add more greenery, you can do whatever you want. So we have 10 more minutes, so we'll start on this one and see how far we get. Set it up here where you guys can see it. Definitely going to get me some horseshoe nails though, because that'd have been much easier if I could just wrap it with floral tape and then staple it in. Thank you, Sue. I like it too. That's the first one I've ever made, so I'm liking it. So he's going to Menards to get another 4x4. I said that kind of loud that he would hear me. It's like, I wish she would make up her mind. I can just hear him now. Because I'm like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. So we'll start on this one. We won't get this one finished, but so we're going to sell ours in sector 3. Be nice to have on a mantle or table, anywhere you want to put a little setting. Make sure you don't burn yourself. Oh, I didn't cut that one to measure it. It'll be all right. I love black and white burlap. I use it a lot in my wreath making. I use it a lot in decor. I have like 3, well, this one's half empty. I have 2 more 50-yard rolls of it because I love it so much. If you wanted to, since see how that's popping out just a tad, you could leave it or just stick a little bit of glue behind there. Not a whole lot. Silicone things you could use. This one is 5 inches. This one is 7, and then there's a 9. Hi, Tracy. Here's the little present that I made. I know it's dark in here. I don't know why I got lights everywhere, but there's my little present. You can make it in any color scheme you want. I will probably make some whimsical. My dining room is whimsical, and my living room is traditional. That's how I like it. Got a candy tree. My big tree is traditional. We have a tradition on Thanksgiving. The tree is already up before the grandkids get here. And then they get to decorate the ornaments. Of course, I sometimes have to go back and move them around a little bit, but um, I put the ribbon on, I put the gold beads on. I know those are old fashioned, but I love them. My grandmother had one of those silver tinsel trees with the rotating light underneath, and the tree rotated. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Probably worth a lot of money now. A lot of times we go back retro. That was my grandma's tree. The one year we got snowed in because I lived out in the country. Ouch. My grandpa actually, you had one too, Joyce. Um, my grandpa cut out the top of one of his pine trees so we could have a tree. Mom and dad always bought a live tree, but we got snowed in a week before, 2 weeks before Christmas. And I mean, it was snowed in. The drifts were higher than the cars. So we weren't going anywhere. So Grandpa said, I'll cut out one of the pine trees. It'll grow back. Because I lived right next door to my. You had one too, Gerald. um, I lived right next door to my grandparents. So that was, I know some people have had that opportunity to live really close. I lived right next door. It was out the back door through the garden, and I'm at grandma's. So if mom didn't want to pick something I like, I went to grandma's house. So we got 5 minutes. Let's see how much of a bow we can make. Now I know a lot of you guys use your hands for bows. I know, right? But I can't make with my hands. I got too much arthritis going on. I'm gonna get my camera moved back down. I was doing a really big project and I put a violin in a swag and it was huge. So I had to move my camera up. Okay.
I heard you say we're going back to Menards.
You did hear me. I'm used to. I'm usually making very big bows. So making one this little is kind of a new thing for me. This is called an easy bow maker. If you don't know what it is, I know a lot of you make bows with your hands.
You know you only have like 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, I said, well, we'll start making it because
You finished one.
Oh yeah. Yes, we're going back to the because I like that a lot. These are called a little funky bow. You don't have to make them exactly if you don't want to. When it has a set of things, I normally do make them the same, but you always don't have to. You. That's what makes us all unique. I try not to make my tails too long because I always end up cutting them. I'm like, go figure. So I much appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with me and letting me um, show you how to make a wooden Christmas present, even though I didn't know how. If you haven't followed me, please pop me on the nose and click those three dots. I would love for you to come back. On my page, I have a calendar that is pinned at the top of the page to let you know when I go live because I do have a hectic work schedule. So I'm going to leave you with that. You have like 1 minute. I want you to run get something to drink, use the restroom. And I apologize. I did not see who. No, yes, I did. Deb from Art and Grace is up after me. How could I forget this? So go over and see her and see what fantastic little painting she's going to do. And thank you again. And I hope to see you all again. Bye, guys.